What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like in the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we had just gotten started on our brand spanking new exhibit here for the Nile Lechwe, properly pronounced Lechwe, but I think we can all agree that Lechwe just sounds way more dope. So, this morning, I was playing a little bit of old school RuneScape, which was a fantastic time. Haven't played that game in ages, but while I was doing that, I was also in Planet Zoo here doing a bit of research that we've been putting off for quite a while. Not necessarily putting off, it's just that we don't really have enough time during recordings to research all that we need to research. So, let's go ahead and open that up so I can show you guys what we tackled. Now, we have fully researched the Africa theme. Habitats is finished, North Africa theme, shelters and climbing, which is going to be important for something that we're going to accomplish today, South America theme, and then souvenir shops, I think, was already complete, as well as habitats. But that was it. It took me like a whole hour just to get all that research done, and we also did a little bit of vet research. We have these 3 diseases now fully researched. Those were the only ones that we've had issues with, so hopefully if they pop up again, we'll be ready for it. And then you guys had suggested, since I keep adopting animals that have either injuries or they've already contracted diseases, a lot of you suggested that when we adopt them, we bring them straight over here to the quarantine instead. And then once they're cleared, we can then move them to their habitats. I kind of forgot about that functionality, to tell you the truth. But obviously, I mean, we had the quarantine already in place, so a part of me knew that we were supposed to do that, but thank you for all of you guys for filling me in. So, what are we going to do today? Well, I think it's really important that we make this habitat actually look like something, because at the moment, it's just a big open plot of land with a, you know, default blueprint building right here. It's pretty boring, not really great to look at. So we're definitely going to work on this, making it look quite a bit nicer. And then in addition to that, I also want to go around and just add a little bit more plant life around. You know, we've got the, what are these called again? What did we decide to call these things? Doesn't matter. Anyways, we have the stilted structures out here with the vendors and whatnot. But we don't yet have any ATMs in these facilities, so I want to add some ATMs into both of those. And then just over here, we have this like little triangular parcel of land that's very much underutilized. So I think I want to add like a little interactive mini exhibit type deal just for the kiddos. We do have a bunch of educational facility things that I haven't actually looked at yet. So I want to try to poke around with them a little bit, see if we couldn't get something pretty neat over there. But that's the game plan. Hopefully we can accomplish things relatively quickly, but I want to get things kicked off over here with the Nile Lechwe. So we're going to go ahead and pause things because we don't really want a lot to take place as we're building this habitat, or I guess rebuilding this habitat in a sense. So first we're going to delete that super basic building and all of the additional bedding that we placed in there. Now their food and what little, you know, stuff that we've added in for them, all these little toys and things, we're just going to move across the river because they'll still be able to use it. They're just going to have to swim across the river in order to access it. But it's important that we do that. We'll actually let things play out here as well. A feeding station cannot be reached. Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Let's move that over here then, because I don't think we're going to be doing much in that corner. So, obviously, we have an enormous plot of land for these animals, but we don't really have a proper wetland set up in here. You know, this is the Toogii Wetlands, after all, if you've maybe forgotten. Here's the front entrance sign. So, I want to try to create sort of a swamp, almost like a marsh type area just over here. And then, of course, we don't want the animals to have to swim across the river, so I want to try to build a decent looking bridge, which is again why we did the mechanic research on the shelters and climbable objects, so we have a little bit more to choose from. To get us going here on the shallow pools that we're going to need for the swampy or marsh type area, we're going to use the flatten to terrace tool, and we're going to make sure that we have shallow pool offset checked. That's going to give us the perfect height for us to actually add water into these shallow holes that we're going to add. So I'm just going to quite simply start dragging this around. And then let's actually test just to make sure that we can put water in there. Dude, this is perfect. This is actually perfect. Like, why didn't this tool exist from the get-go? That's what I want to know. So we've got that going. I'm just going to keep snaking this around, try to create, you know, a couple pools here, a couple pools there. I don't want it to look super uniform, so I will try to get a little abstract with things. Okay, now let's try to add in some water here. That one looks pretty nice. That one looks a little phallic. I can promise you that was very much unintentional. Just the way things go sometimes, I guess. And then we've got another one right over there. Okay. That should be all of them. Dude, this already looks so much nicer. So, of course, with a swampy marsh type land, we're going to need like a bunch of tall grass kind of scattered in between these pools. Try to break things up a little bit. I'm going to leave the phallic shaped one because I think it's kind of funny. But let's head into the nature tab here so we can try to figure out what sort of tall grass we want to use. Actually, this is dumb. We've used the tall grass many a time. So let's come over here and we'll grab, no, that's not even the stuff that I wanted. It's this stuff right here, the common reeds. So I'm gonna grab that. We'll just do a duplicate and then let's start placing it all in here. I'm gonna try to put it around the water, but I definitely don't want to cover up the little pools that we've made. And now that we know what this one's called, I guess we'll go into the nature tab, because I'm sure there's going to be different size variants that we could use, and there absolutely is. We have the 4 meter one already placed down. We have a 2 meter, a 1 meter, and then the strips. The strips are actually going to come in handy, especially for the straighter sections, you know, up along the fence and things. You guys, this is already looking so much better. And as an added bonus, you know, these animals, they're fairly shy. They're a bit timid. So as an added bonus, they'll be able to hide behind these tall common reeds and escape from the guests a little bit. You know, they don't really like to be viewed, but kind of unfortunate that they're stuck here in a zoo. In the wild, they wouldn't be looked at whatsoever. I actually don't know, where are these animals from? I know very little about the Nile Lechwe. The name Nile, I'm thinking Amazon-esque area. Well, they're endangered. I can tell you that for certain. Where are they from? Ethiopia and South Sudan. Okay, from Africa. Gotcha. I really like what we've got going on here, but what I don't like is how all the reeds are like exactly the same height. So I'm just going to go around and decrease the height of a couple of them, maybe even increase the height of a few, just to, you know, create a little bit of differentiation between all these identical looking plants. I definitely think altering some of the heights of the reeds helped, but it's still missing something else. I like the layout too. I feel like we have a pretty good spread of plants, and the guests are still going to be able to view the animals, just not from everywhere like they used to. So what I want to do next is kind of tweak the water a little bit. We're currently using the clean water. What if we did like the Everglades stuff? It's a bit more green. That doesn't even really do that much for us. I actually think Amazon is gonna be the move here. It's a little bit more brown. The water looks kind of dirty, which you wouldn't necessarily want in an exhibit, but since this is supposed to be a swampy marsh type area, I feel like it makes the most sense for it to look that way. See, I don't know. It works, but I still think it's missing something. Maybe we need more of the cypress trees. Let's see. Well, they're not from Africa, though. They kind of need plants that are from Africa. Are the reeds? The reeds probably aren't either. Let's take a look at their habitat. I'm going to play things just in case it needs to, like, think about all the additions we've done. And then let's see. So they're missing hard shelter. That's the only thing that they don't like about this habitat. Okay, the common reeds, thankfully, are also from Africa. So I guess we can use those. But these, the trees we've been placing literally everywhere. Well, not, I guess it wouldn't just be the tree itself, would it? Because we have like multiple trees. They're custom trees. They're custom trees. But that definitely says North America. So if we were to put those in here, they would absolutely throw a fit. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I think we're going to do is try to add even more tall grass, but a different variety. Okay, now you guys, we're getting closer to the vision. Definitely getting closer. The water looks great from this angle, but as soon as you go up from like a top-down view, it kind of loses the brown hue, and it just doesn't really look all that great. So what I'm going to do next is just using our paintbrush here with some mud. I'm going to paint right underneath all the water in here with the mud. And then we'll go through and try to retexture everything else. So once again, it'll look, you know, normal-ish, as normal as we can make it look. There it is. Now it's looking like a muddy bog, dude. That is perfect. So I don't think we necessarily need the brown tinted water anymore. So let's go back to the Everglades, sort of like a green tint. And then from the side, oh yeah, that's the move. That is the move. Anytime you go like aerial view, the water just kind of looks clear. So if you look at it from the side, that's how you can really tell. In changing all of that, we did unfortunately get rid of a little bit of the short grass that they were looking for. So I'm going to try to just increase the amounts that they need, and then hopefully we'll be all set here, dude. This looks incredible now, you guys. It looks so much nicer. This is exactly what the exhibit, actually the whole zoo, was missing. I kept saying, and I feel like I said this many times before, that we needed like a swampy marsh land. And we just never could really deliver on that. So I think finally we've done it. So now that the terrain painting has been completed, I think I want to move into terrain modification. So I went ahead and did a little test hit over here. I think the riverbank is a bit too steep. You can see like just how steep this angle is all the way around here. So what I want to do is just try to decrease it a little bit, make it a little bit easier on their poor little hips. And then their feeders, as you can probably tell, I have tried to move them a little bit closer to the fence line, because the viewing experience for the guests now isn't all that great. So I'm still trying to break the animals out of their shell a little bit, you know, get them a little bit closer up to that fence line. But I think what else we're going to need is a new, like, hard shelter for them. We did get rid of the one, and initially I was kind of thinking I wanted to create a custom one. But then after doing the research, I'm clicking on all the wrong tabs. After doing the research, we've actually unlocked the African shelter right here. And I think this could be perfect for their exhibit. So let's just try to plop this thing down wherever it makes the most sense. I think right there it's going to be like, that's the most open area that they have, but it'll still give them plenty of cover. Look at that. Dude, one of the females is actually right up along the fence line. And you're not stressed? That's great news. That's great news. There's not a ton of guests around her right now, but I mean, she's just scoping it all out. Love to see that. Okay, so yeah, we'll add a little bit of bedding in there and then decrease the whole rest of the riverbank, make it a little bit easier on their poor little hips. Then I think we'll be good. All right, after adjusting the riverbank, I actually think that sort of did us a solid here, because it's going to make this bridge that much easier to construct. So I'm not trying to do anything super fancy here. I quite literally just need some way for them to be able to walk across the water without, of course, swimming in it. So we're going to start with this. I don't like the edge of that, though. Let's see if we could find like a nice trim piece. Also, can they even walk on stuff like this? They should be able to. I'm half tempted to... Well, we can't actually move them. Can we? I don't remember. No, we couldn't just move them over here. Yeah, that's not at all... Wait, yes, we can! What? What? Since when? You guys, honestly, I don't think I've ever had to do that. Not once. Ooh, here we go. This is perfect. I didn't even have to move them, turns out. But they are walking across the bridge, which is all I could really ask for. That's great. That is great. It's nothing special, I know, but let's try to find a little trim piece for the edge. And then I think we can start on this little triangular bit right over there. I started here using like the smallest log wall possible, but I still don't really love it. It looks too uniform. And then I found the log wall top, which is essentially the same thing, but the log size is different. Or I guess it alternates, you know what I'm trying to say. There we go. It hides that weird edge that I didn't really care for much, and it looks much less uniform than the other one did. What I don't like about it, though, is how sunk in this side is compared to this side. So I'm just going to try to slide it over until they look about the same. Right about there. Perfect. Easy, dude. Easy, easy, easy. Now they're all over here just hanging out, away from all the guests. But of course, if they get hungry, they're going to have to come over here either for their little feeders or their actual food trough doodad. So, since we have done a little bit more research on this species as well, we should have a few more enrichment items to give them, like a grab ball. Absolutely, we'll put that down right there. Seems like a decent enough spot. The hanging grazer feeder. I'm going to put that over here. Again, just trying to bring them ever closer to the fence line so that the guests can get a solid view of them. We have a scratching tree? What? Dude, that's sick. And it'll add more trees into their habitat, which they're definitely missing. Definitely lacking at the moment. So we'll give them a scratching tree over there, and then a Scots pine scratching tree. I'll put that one just there. Since we have the two scratching trees... Oh, wait, this one's actually being used. Check that out, dude. That's sick. Oh, Asian small-clawed otter's about to mate. Good. Good deal. I didn't actually talk about this yet, but the Asian small-clawed otters were all getting to the point of being elderly, so I did have to release them. We got like 130 some CCs for releasing 3 of them, which is actually really good. So I did have to adopt 2 more. It's a good thing that they're finally having some bebe as well. Last but not least, since we do have the 2 scratching trees, I don't think a rubbing pillar is necessary, but a scarecrow feeder could be cool. And I'm going to place that right over here, just because. What does that have on its head? Is that a mustache? Did they give him a mustache instead of a mouth, or is he frowning? I think it's supposed to be a mustache. But that's pretty cool. It's just full of like long grasses and stuff for them to graze on. Very neat. All right, I would say we are finished with the Nile Lechwe exhibit. Oh, what y'all doing over here? What y'all doing over here? Trying to have some bebe, potentially? Maybe? Yep, there it is. There it is, Combo. Combo is expecting offspring, which is great. And this one's over here using the grab ball. She's a bit jealous. She's definitely a bit jealous. Oh, wait. Before we start on the little triangular plot of land, the Habitat Education Boards just reminded me we still don't have any of that for the Lechwe. So you guys have seen me do this so many times before. Obviously, we're going to get the Habitat Education Board, a speaker to match, and then we'll put a donation bin or 2 somewhere nearby. So I'm going to do that. Then we can start on the little, like, kids' educational area.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, now with that taken care of, I think we can start checking out some of the new educational things for the kiddos. So starting off with, like, a height meter, I guess, with a giraffe. Wait. Why I no can place. Oh. Oh, they snap alongside the paths. Okay, that's no problem, actually. Let's just start plopping some of these down so we can see what we're working with. We have a height meter with a gorilla and one with a giraffe, so the kids can kind of measure, you know, how tall they are compared to some of the animals. Granted, we don't have either one of those animals, but it's cool, okay? It's cool. And then this is what they call a paw print station. Cat o Moyer Ora Lumas. I'm going to pretend like I know what that means. So we'll place that one down. And then this is a soundboard. Very cool. Okay, so what we need to do now, I think that's the only additions for the kiddos. But what we need to do now is just try to create a path, I guess, bridging the 2, if at all possible. We kind of have a lot of paths crisscrossing over here, so if I make any edits to the existing ones, it may end up deleting them. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that's not the case here. we're just going to go with the smallest possible path. And I'm going to place that like right next to that trash can. We'll start to bring a path out, bring it straight out, and then we'll curve it into right here. I think that'll be plenty big, don't you? It's not like a good shape though. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. All right, let's start moving these things around now. I'm gonna do the smaller objects on this side. So we'll do those two there. And then over here, we'll have the gorilla height meter. And then of course, the giraffe height meter as well. Now all we're missing is a little bit of foliage, a little bit of extra decor over here. Oh, dude, the giraffe head and tail both move. Does anything move on the gorilla? The head moves on him. Very cool, very cool. I want to see people, like, actually interact with them. We've got some kiddos over here. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is only for kiddos. You can't be using this as a shortcut to get around faster. All right? Let's see if they actually do. Oh, they do actually compare their height. That's neat. That's really neat. We've obviously gotten a lot to do here for kids. I mean, it's a zoo after all. Who doesn't love just going around and checking out animals? There we have the soundboard. Somebody's actually using that. Very neat. But now we have like interactive things for the kiddos to check out as well, which is pretty dope. They seem pretty stoked about it too, so that's awesome. I keep getting alerts saying that a lot of our crocodigators are about to mature, which is not going to go over so well with their parents. They're going to start battling it out for who's the alpha male and alpha female, for that matter. So let's go through here. Anyone that's like 6.5 years old, we're going to first apply contraceptives to them. Actually, let's just go through and apply contraceptives to all of the bebe. There we go. Now a whole bunch of them have matured, so we're going to go through and select all of the mature bebe. We're going to go ahead and straight up just release them to the wild. 95 cc's. That's pretty solid. Check this out, dude. Even with just a little bit of decoration, this place looks awesome. I think all the kiddos are definitely going to enjoy themselves out here. I also went through and added a few benches, so, you know, if the parents just want to take a load off, or the kids as well, anyone is able to do so. But yeah, dude, just some trees and some common reeds, some elephant grass in the back there, and some palms is all it took. It looks really, really nice. All right, well, ladies and gents, tell you the truth, I think that's probably where we're gonna wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.